So we wanted to start our Game of Thrones recap off with a moment of silence for the lovely Lady Olenna. She was the baddest of the bitches. So a lot happened in this episode. Dany and Jon finally meet. Jon gets Dragonglass. Dany gets Castle Rock, but chooses another sea battle to Euron. Cersei gets her hands on the sand snakes and kills Tywin in front of her mom with a kiss. Cersei's bargaining with the Bank of Bravos, trying to get some more money for the war. And she also agrees to marry Euron when the battle's over. Bran's back in Winterfell, and for some reason Sansa's still listening to Littlefinger. Jorah is safe, and Sam's still bored at the Citadel. And Jaime kills Lady Olenna, and he finds out that she's the one that killed Joffrey, clearing Tyrion's name.
So tonight we're going to be doing our top 7 moments in honor of the 7. What is one of your top moments, Chelsea?
So for me, what really stood out in this episode was, as usual, the music. I love the little throwbacks we got with rearrangements of the Reigns of Castamere, along with the Light of the Seven. That's awesome, having Euron and Jaime spar when you can lightly hear the Reigns of Castamere in the background. So same when the Unsullied are invading the Lannister home base. You kind of knew something's up because you can hear the light sounds of the Reigns of Castamere. And of course, when my favorite lady, the baddest bitch, Lady Olenna, died, and you hear that song again, it's a great way of reminding us how things are starting to play out, and people are going to die in this show. Hashtag RIP Olenna. I'm going to miss you forever.
So my top moment from tonight is Jon and Dany finally meeting. I was very excited about this. I've been waiting for this since season 1. This is something that I just can't believe finally happened.
And I love how they bond over the episode. It's kind of cool because these are two people who, at least for now, want to do right by the realm. And it's unusual to have, for the most part, royalty that's that kind of selfless. So it's kind of cool. They got a lot in common.
They do.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out over the season.
Although I do have to say, I was hoping during the bonding moment there'd be a makeout session.
They just met! They just met!
I made it happen,
They're
though.
monarchs! They have shit to do!
It's Game of Thrones. It happens.
And that actually leads into one of my favorite parts from the episode about how we're seeing the myth of Jon and Daenerys grow. I love in the intros, one, just how ridiculously long Daenerys' intro is. We get it, you're the Stormbone, you're breaker of chains, whatever. And when Davos tries to introduce Jon, and he's like, hey, Jon Snow. Then he almost slips. And he almost admits that Jon was resurrected when he talks about how he took a blade to the heart for his people.
Yeah.
That shows the myth growing between these people, and how they're not just regular folk. One would say mythical monarchs, like the prince that was promised in Azor Ahai.
That's actually very true, because you've got Daenerys, who can't be killed by fire. She just can't be. And then you have Jon, who is resurrected from literally being dead. So
they've both experienced some type of rebirth. It's interesting because it also feeds into another thing that kept coming up in the episode about how things are cyclical in Westeros. So I found it interesting in this episode how we kept getting throwbacks to past episodes. You have Cersei being compared to her dad, you have Dany and Jon being compared to their fathers, you have Olenna drinking the poison, just like Joffrey did, and you also have Sam saving Jorah the way Jorah's dad saved Sam. And it's one an interesting theme they're kind of building out throughout the episode, just to have that kind of where things, they've happened before, they'll happen again. And I feel like we're going to get more and more of that as the season progresses. It's just interesting, especially with the sense of their fathers, how can you break that cycle? And I'm assuming we're going to find out either this season or next season. And so just another way we saw the past repeat itself was Cersei got her hands on Illyria and her daughter.
Well, that's true. You got to see Cersei give Tywin that kiss of death, which Marcella got, and Illyria had to watch, and it was heartbreaking. Her face literally broke me.
And you knew something was up, because I will be honest, Cersei's lipstick was driving me crazy.
It was very distracting.
But then it made sense when you find out what she's up to. It was the perfect way to kind of play out that storyline.
Another moment, it's still a creepy moment to me, but Euron and Jaime, their whole back and forth during tonight's episode, Euron was throwing some serious shade at poor Jaime. Actually, it looked like Jaime was about to deck him.
That was amazing, especially when he asked for sex tips
Oh god.
from Jamie about his sister. Like, shots fired, man. Shots fired.
That was just so disturbing.
Although, I will admit, there is one part in the lead up to that scene that bothered me. I don't get why the common people would give a shit about Yara and the Sand Snakes. They were like a little too excited.
Yeah, like throwing all the stuff at them and just like cheering and stuff. Like they wouldn't care that much about the Sand Snakes.
They're like a
would they?
minor house. The Stormborn, like the Greyjoys, don't count for anything. It seemed like it was a very cool shot to watch, but it didn't seem in place for the TV show.
Yeah, it seemed very out of place for the people they were bringing into King's Landing.
And then finally, for like the top greatest moment from the entire episode, Jamie found out that Olenna killed Joffrey.
Finally! It has taken so long.
That's perfect. Tyrion's name is cleared now, which gives Jamie the option to desert Cersei. I'm not saying we're going to see it soon, but it's kind of amping up. Olenna warns him that she's a disease, that she's awful, that she's a monster. And so as Olenna's warning Jamie, you can still see that there is that goodness in him. He needs Brienne to come back and bring it out.
He does. I agree with that. But it's just so nice to know that at least Tyrion's name right now is cleared with Jamie. But I want to see Cersei's face when Jamie tells her.
Yeah.
That's going to be epic to me.
It's going to be interesting.
Because that was her whole reason for like mostly hating Tyrion right now, is because she thought that he killed her child, her golden boy.
She's gonna hate him though.
She will. I just think she hates him more because she thinks he killed Joffrey, right? So it's gonna change a little bit when. I think it'll change like not a lot, just a tiny bit when she finds out that he didn't kill Joffrey.
And I'm not gonna lie, as I was watching that scene, I just kept praying to God for a Princess Bride moment.
Right?
And they play with the cups, like which one has the cup. Oh no, Olenna built up immunity to it.
Yeah, that would have actually been
amazing.
hilarious.
Hashtag RIP Olenna.
Now it's time to go over our theories. So the craziest theories and then the most realistic ones. So how about you kick us off, Chelsea? What's your craziest theory?
So I want Game of Thrones to turn into a romantic comedy with Johnny and Dany. You can make the cuts work, and it would add some much needed levity. We know they're gonna bang sooner or later. Let's have some fun with it. Come on, Harry met Sally meets Game of Thrones. Ash, what's your crazy theory for today?
So my craziest theory, and it's actually a theory that has been around for a while, I guess, but I just heard about it. It's that the Night King of the White Walkers is actually a Stark. And I'm kind of wondering if that is...
I would love it if that theory is true, because we're going to see that cyclical theme continue to play out.
That's very true.
And it feels like something George R.R. Martin would do.
Yeah.
Like,
I would still be blown away if it came true, but...
And then, like, we'll offer some of our more grounded theories. Like, what's your realistic theory for the rest of the season?
So my realistic theory for the rest of the season, and it keeps getting more and more confirmed since I read it, and that is that Sam Tarly is the one writing Game of Thrones.
That one, I could see that. Like, throughout the series, he's been the avatar for George. He is that little nerd in the library writing stuff. It would fit.
Yeah, and he looks like George. Like, he looks like he could be a young George.
I don't know if that's a shot at, like, Sam or a shot at George.
That's very true. But, I mean, their body types, the way their beards go, it kind of fits.
It works.
How about you? What is your realistic theory?
I am convinced that there is a spy with Dany. Like, it's interesting. I don't know how Cersei knew Tyrion was the Hand, which was weird. I don't know how Euron found their ships. And now again, to be outplayed again when they're at the Lannister home base, someone's feeding them information. Like, my money would have been on Olenna, but she died. Well, like, I could see her doing that. It's a way to kind of just get revenge. She doesn't want the realm to do well. She just wanted to bring down Cersei. But my top contender's out now.
Uh-oh.
So, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
We'll just have to wait and see.
That was our Game of Thrones recap. We hope you guys liked it, but we want to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.